Well, good morning, neighbors, and we are live back at a wonderful facility of Village on the Park. We're excited to have everybody with us this morning, and we do apologize. Apparently, we had a little technical delay from Facebook, and not only Facebook, but I think kind of from our side as well. So, John, I think the rain and the equipment all wanted to just blow up all at once.
Right. Take it a little easy this morning.
Well, I'll tell you, I enjoy from time to time switching things up. And this morning I wanted you in the hot seat with me to really talk about, goodness, what's going on around Northwest Arkansas. John, it amazes me. I think you log more miles in a day than most folks do in terms of, being a realtor with Weichert and really just tapping into folks from kind of both sides of the aisle with regards to investment, buyers, as well as, those that are selling homes and buying homes.
I had no idea that I was going to drive that many miles a day, every day, but it's been interesting, and people from all over are interested in moving to Northwest Arkansas.
Well, they are, John, and there's so many events. I was just noticing on the KLRC community calendar, I like to refer to that quite a bit, and, just so many things going on. And one of the biggest events that's coming up on the 15th, on this Saturday, is the Convoy of Hope, which is a community event down at the rodeo fairgrounds in Springdale. And, Springdale is really revitalizing their entire downtown. And so it's really quite unique. I know, here a while back, and we'll talk about those in just a little bit, but in terms of housing stats and people who moved to Springdale or Washington County, I think it was last month you and I were talking about the stats about, the amount of folks that are moving into Springdale.
Yeah, it's very surprising because it sort of goes under the radar almost. You don't really see it in the papers as much, but more and more people are interested in moving to Springdale because it's got great schools, it's got a revitalized downtown with lots of entertainment and restaurants, and it's centrally located, so you get to have the best of both worlds. You get to participate in events in Bentonville or Fayetteville very easily.
Oh, well, definitely. And, this weekend with the Convoy of Hope and that community event, it's really about folks who are underserved in the communities. And the Convoy of Hope is bringing in folks who deal with kind of serving light medical issues, haircuts, groceries, just all sorts of things that'll be going on, stuff for the kids to do. That event starts at 10 a.m. in Springdale, and I think it's going to be fantastic. Also coming up in July, because we're really nearing the end of the month so far, in July they've got the Dallas Home Concert, which Dallas has been around for many years and kind of on the Christian circuit, but he's going to be at the First Baptist Church in Garfield at 7 p.m. on July the 12th, and then the Faith and Freedom Fest is July 6th. That's a free concert, basically featuring, Seventh Time Down and David Dunn, and these are just all sorts of events that are going on around Northwest Arkansas. So, and then right here at Village on the Park, John, I'm amazed at their calendar. They've got we're going to be talking with Aaron about that later in our segment, but that's going to be a fish fry that's coming up on June 14th and a luau on June 21st. So here's things even for the folks who are more of our seasoned citizens that are, enjoying life and getting to do all these fun things.
Right, and you've pointed out before just how good the food is here. So.
Oh, it's fantastic. I'm looking forward to having Corey on to talk about, kind of what's going on in the dining services end. And these folks don't mess around. Corey fixes up some fresh food. This is not this frozen stuff that they kind of throw at you like they do the high school kids. This is fantastic. If I could convince Corey, John, to just, have me a standing seat every day, honestly, I'd just put my diet to the side. I wouldn't worry about, those things. But I'll tell you, Corey does a great job back in dining services, and I know Mike Gross and his team are just, they are elated to have this kind of service here at Village on the Park. But no, I know you and I really want to talk about in our segment here this morning, kind of, and we've addressed this before, this whole senior market issue. And I want to kind of, first of all, throw up some housing stats. I think I want to kind of first refer to that a little bit with regards to this first slide that you had showed me. I'm looking for that slide, but at this point, Jeremy's looking like, what went with that slide? So I think Jeremy's had some fun this morning with technical issues, but no. Walk us through a little bit about this. I wanted a great visual on this morning because I really think this is a telling story,
yes.
Just, comparatively for the year as
Right.
well.
Well, this is a slide we put together every week at our Weichert office. It's from the multiple listing service, and this is just residential. This does not include commercial sales. And what this shows is trends in the real estate market. So the first one is Northwest Arkansas total, which is both Washington and Benton County.
Okay, so combine.
So combined, and then it's based upon a 12-month average, because the 12-month average number reflects all of the variations that go on in different seasons and different events during the year. So that, for instance, right now you have more activity than you did back in February when it was cold
Sure.
and people weren't necessarily out looking at homes.
Sure.
So it's a moving average, and the average right now is showing that we are really into record territory.
Well, I'll tell you, I think speaking of record territory, poor Jeremy, I think he's in record territory as well. But
Right.
we're back. And so, but yes, on this slide we're
Right.
talking about.
So the average has moved up to 2,450 listings. That's the number of homes that are listed on the MLS for Northwest Arkansas on an average basis.
Wow.
And that is an increase from last week.
Okay.
And then sold is 853 average.
Okay.
And that's a record number. That's the highest number we have ever seen for the number of sold per month for the average,
Wow.
which means that we have an average monthly supply of less than 3 months.
Less than 3 months
Less than 3
supply
months, right.
on the market.
So that's considered the absorption rate. So if no other home was listed, the current inventory of homes would be fully sold out in 2.8 months.
2.8 months.
Right. And what that means for your audience, people who are looking to buy a home or people who are looking to list a home, but I know you have people who are part of your audience that are looking to move here.
Exactly.
It means that it's a real seller's market.
Oh, well, definitely.
5 months is considered the point of equilibrium. So if you're fewer than 5 months, it favors the seller.
Okay.
And if you're longer than 5 months, it favors the buyer. So it gives you an idea of how favorable it is to the sellers right now.
Well, I mean, the list sale there, that 98%, shows that, wow, I mean, they're getting almost 100% of the asking price. Am I reading that number correctly?
that's
I think
correct.
you and I talked about that
Right.
before. So they're getting 100%, almost 100%.
Almost 100%, which is also indicative of a seller's market.
Well, and somewhat, I would think that that's a little bit unheard of in, even if we're looking at regionally, I mean, that's fantastic. But if we look nationally, that's almost unheard of in terms of.
Well, I know I have friends in Dallas, and they're much lower than that. Mm-hmm. And I have friends in other parts of the country, and they tell me how Northwest Arkansas is the envy of residential real estate agents.
Well, definitely. And I don't know, John, if we have that slide that dealt with kind of the senior market piece of that, where, senior housing is such a, in one sense, kind of such a underserved market.
Right.
But yet, looking ahead at the housing trends, you and I were talking about, where we now need to be prepared as communities that are growing for that booming senior housing market.
Right. It's phenomenal because we're reaching a point where the population of people 55 and older, which is the demographic that they call the senior housing market,
Yes.
is going to really escalate tremendously. And so that population shift to 55 and older is really underserved now, but it's going to be even more underserved because builders are not really building homes that are geared towards that population. And clients of mine who are in that population, especially over 60, are really having a hard time finding housing that's appropriate for them or housing that they want.
Well, and I think that goes to, and we'll be talking about this during the program today, because our program primarily this morning is really geared around our good friends here at Village on the Park, and you know, they've got 31 units here, John, that are cottages, and you know, last time I spoke with Mike and the team, they were down to about 11 of those, 10 of those, and now I'm sure, you know, again, as this shift in the dynamic continues, a facility like Village on the Park offering these wonderful cottages, offering the different aspects of living, if you will, are that opportunity for seniors to jump in. They get a beautiful kind of one level cottage, if you will, all on one level. All of their amenities, they can come and go, you know, enjoy their time traveling and that type of thing. And so that's simply beautiful. And I know Mike and I are going to be talking a little bit about that. But I think we have some other kind of numbers here that we wanted to show. I think NWA wide or kind of.
We're going to break it down by county, so this way
Yes.
people can zero in on either Benton or Washington County. So
Okay.
the first is Benton County.
Okay.
And so this is the same set of data, but it's just for the Benton County population or Benton
Okay.
County listings.
Okay.
So you can see that still we're on the increase. So there's 1,637 average listings in Benton County, which is an increase from last week and last month when you and I talked about it.
Right.
And there's 536 sold per month on average, which is a 3-month supply, a little bit on the higher end of that number we just talked about.
Right.
But still a very much a seller's market. And again, it's 98% list to sale ratio.
Well, and you know, it used to be when I moved here back in the day, you know, we were getting $50 and $60 a foot, and now we're at $115 per square foot. So, you know, again, we're seeing those higher end numbers, you know, in a seller's market.
Right.
And so
Right.
that is absolutely phenomenal at that point.
Right.
And so,
And I think, you know, mortgage rates are now below 4%.
Yeah.
We're seeing an increase in more traffic, more activity. People have more buying power, so they're looking at those higher end homes that cost more per square foot.
Well, definitely. Well, John, I know there's a lot of numbers for us to absorb here at the end of the day. I think one of the great things is what we can do is put this out for folks to see on our website, share that back over on Facebook site to Weichert as well. I know Weichert has those statistics, but also I think it gives folks a great place to go. And how can they connect to really understand if they're a seller or a buyer, for that matter, in terms of understanding these numbers? How can they connect with you on that?
Probably the easiest is just to give me a call. My cell phone number is 479-685-2084.
Okay.
And I have the statistics that I can provide them on a particular town up in Arkansas and even down into Fort Smith if they are interested in that part of the state. And then also these numbers come out every week, so we can update them and provide them more current information when they get ready to actually buy or sell their home.
Well.
We're happy to help any way we can.
Well, fantastic. John, I appreciate your time this morning in the hot seat with me, and we look forward to getting you back. I know throughout the show we'll have you on as well, and so I just think it's great because this is an opportunity to share kind of a interest level with folks on what's going on. They are interested in this. It's summertime. Folks are getting the house up, getting it ready to sell. Great time for folks to look and buy and sell.
Right. Right, we think so, and we've seen a lot of traffic, so I'm glad to get this information out there.
Well, there you go. Well, folks, we'll be right back in a few minutes with my good friend Mike Gross, Executive Director here at Village on the Park. I'm sure I messed up that title, but he's a great guy, and I look forward to interviewing him. We'll be right back.
I was looking for a place where my mom would be safe and where if she fell, I knew somebody could get to her. I needed to know she could get her food, her meals. I needed to know that she wasn't alone and lonely.
It's tailored, it's individualized. Every resident seems to get what they need individually, and there is a real concern for what that individual need is. And there are people here to accommodate that without being condescending and really lifting up the resident. That makes a huge difference.
Coming here and be able to share your life together and become an extended family for each other is what's really been great for us. We love it.
I think my mother really feels very much at home. She loves her living space. She has a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, very cozy place. All of the things that she loves that really, really worked are there in place in a beautiful way.
The people around here are so friendly and willing to do most things, and they have so many activities for us planned every single day. They give us a activities chart every month, even for the restaurant. They give us a menu every day. Every week we get a new menu, so we know what we're going to eat.
I can't tell you how my mom has, she's just blossomed. She's so happy here. And she looks 10 years younger. She's walking much more. She got no exercise at her home. She's walking all over the place, and she's become very social, which I never thought my mom was very social. And she just, it's saved her life. It really has.
Well, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll tell you, it has been a morning of just fun and rain and technical opportunities here at our wonderful set for Good Morning Neighbor. But I'm excited to have Mike Gross with me this morning from Village on the Park, and I consider Mike one of the most knowledgeable folks in the industry with regards to senior care living and really what it's all about, not only from kind of what I call the front end of the house, Mike, to the back end. And welcome aboard the program this morning. Glad to have you. And I'll tell you, Mike, you know, we've talked about how fantastic this facility is, but you know, kind of walk us through kind of this whole idea and concept behind Village on the Park and what it's about and you know, really in one sense, how you kind of came to be involved with it as well.
Well, I've been in senior care probably 20 plus years.
I was going to say.
I had a home care company for 15 years, then moved up here to open this community and also one in Rogers.
Yes.
So we have 2 communities in Rogers, one in Bentonville. But assisted living is fairly new concept in the industry. And some people still think it's like a nursing home, you know, but it is not.
It
you
is
walk
not.
in and it is not a nursing home. It is a community. It is a senior living community where people come and they may need just a little bit of help to get through their daily life, their daily activities, and you know, we'll help them get dressed or help them take a shower, help them put their shoes on or their socks and different things just to kind of get through their daily routine. But they're still independent. They still walk around. Some are on walkers, some are on motorized wheelchairs, but they still get around and they're still independent. And we'll see in a minute about all the activities they do. And it's,
I mean, you know, Mike, looking through the activity calendar alone for the great pamphlet that you all put out to your community here, I get amazed. I mean, you know, if there was a way I could be bundled away in a suitcase on some of these activities, I'd be like, man, I'm in. Count me in. A luau, a fish fry, you know, kind of just some of the different things that are going on, and it's hard to, in one sense, to keep up.
well, we want to provide something for them to do all the
Exactly.
time, and of course, they're not always all of them going to do the same thing. And,
No.
and we have a great team here, and Emily does a really good job of pulling together things, and it may be, and she'll talk about it in a little bit.
Sure.
From Tai Chi to, you know, chair aerobics to going on trips to, we'll go to Walmart, we'll go to the museum, we'll go to different places. It's just to keep them moving.
I've got to kid her about the whole boxing thing. You know, I think
Yeah.
she's training some next heavyweight competitors
Yeah.
against, you know, some of the greats out there.
It'll be
So-
on pay-per-view here next week.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, give us an overview of also kind of this wonderful facility, and we'll show some clips here as well and talk about kind of each segment of this as we go through the show here this morning. But you know, I just think it's fantastic, this beautiful facility. I know we've got some pictures of kind of some of the model homes and things like that, but I want to see, like, here's the model home. This is the inside here of this beautiful home, this cottage that you call them. And so how many of those are here on property?
Well, we have 31 cottages. And
Okay.
Those are for independent living. So people,
Sure.
those are 2-bedroom, nice, beautiful cottages, 2-bedroom plus an extra room for a study or a music room or something. But 31 of those, they're 1,450 square feet.
1,450.
Yeah,
That's
which
a
is
nice
a
size.
couple,
Look
a
at the outside.
single person or a couple. That's big enough. They walk in and go, "Wow, this is great." And it's for independent living. They get
Yes.
2 meals a day, and but they still have their own independence and their own bedroom and their own cottage and everything.
Well, this is beautiful. You know, brick front.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in fact, I think the whole cottage is brick.
It is, it
Yes.
is.
Rarely you find that in terms of.
We built this one in our purpose of Bentonville, and we have Rogers too.
Sure,
and
you
it's
got some
It
beautiful-
has siding, and that's beautiful in its own way. That it's different colors. It kind of reminds me of Seaside in Florida.
Yes.
You know, but here we wanted to blend in with the neighborhood and this community, and that we decided to go with brick veneer.
Exactly, and I'll tell you, I think we have another picture in here, Jeremy, of kind of one of the trails that's on the backside of the property here, and Mike and I were simply talking about that yesterday with regards to, you know, how basically from, you know, the beautiful courtyard that you all have right on through to the trail back here
Yeah.
behind you,
The pond and
the
stuff.
pond and so forth behind the pond to see. Yes, look at that.
Yeah.
So we can see a glimpse of the trail, and this beautiful pond on the backside
Right.
is absolutely
And it's
phenomenal.
fishing. It has fish in it, so
Ye-
people go out there and fish if they want to. And there's a concrete path all around it. They can go out and walk around. I used to kid Jared about it. He called it a lake. I said, it's really not a lake, it's a pond.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, the great thing is folks can get out and do some exercise, and
Mm-hmm.
and you know they're up against really a great you know, kind of a backdrop of not only the pond but the other homes behind
Right,
it as well.
right.
And it really spreads that whole piece of community living.
It is.
And
And that's why we call it a community. You know, you say facility, but we call it a
Yes.
community. And it's a community, and inside here we have 75 rooms of assisted living.
75.
Yeah, so that's
Wow.
what we're licensed for. Inside, it's regulated by the state. You have to
Okay.
obtain license for the number of beds, number of rooms that you have.
Mm-hmm.
18 of those are memory care, and we'll have Deborah on here in a little bit to talk about memory care.
Yes.
People with dementia and Alzheimer's that need a more secured area.
Well, and I'll tell you, folks are looking for that type of, again, community connection, if you will, because you haven't separated that in one sense. You've brought it into the fold.
Yeah.
That's what I like about, again, this entire Village on the Park concept. It is all about really connecting community, connecting individuals. What I like too is you've got a beautiful clubhouse. I think if we've got a picture of the clubhouse there, just briefly, that is in and of itself a great opportunity for those in the cottages, as well as then those folks get to come together. I love this. Once a month, at the beginning of the month, Corey does a great job of connecting both the folks in the cottages to the rest of the community as well, in terms of the apartments and
Right.
Yeah.
And we try to do things together. And like
Yes.
once a month, first Saturday of each month, we have a brunch on Saturday. And so the cottage people come over and they eat, and it's a wonderful time. But we want to do things together. But this is a great concept in that we have independent living cottages.
Yes.
So somebody say they are ready to downsize, they're ready to sell their home. They come here and they live, and I call it stress-free living. And then they get a medical issue where they need a little bit of help. So it's a very easy transition to move to assisted living.
yes.
Later on, they may start having memory issues or some cases of Alzheimer's. They can move into the memory care unit. You don't have to leave this campus
No,
to do that.
no. And again, what I love about it, Carrie and I talk about it even toward the end of our shows, just the beautiful courtyards. I can't remember if we have a picture on that, but I know Carrie's going to talk even more in depth about the cottages, the apartments, and, you know, kind of just some of the events with Tania, who is new in your marketing area, and I understand she's doing a bang-up job.
Oh, yeah.
With regards to kind of knocking some of this out of the park with folks coming here. And
We
so-
want everybody to come visit us. Just come out and have lunch. We'll
Oh.
provide you lunch. And it's some people think it's hard to find, but we're located on Southwest Regional Airport Boulevard, going towards the airport. And the easiest landmark is Greenhouse, corner of Greenhouse Road,
Yes.
Centerton, and Southwest Regional Airport Boulevard. So
Exactly, Mike, and I was even going to mention the wonderful flag you have out front as well. People can't miss that great
Yeah.
flag that you have out front
Yeah.
there in the center area. But I really like it because it is very convenient to get here. It's also very accessible to get in and out of your buildings. It's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
And so
Good.
we're excited. Now, how can people connect with you, Mike and Tania, with regards to, I know through Facebook, you all have a Facebook page to follow.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some wonderful events coming up. You've also done some community events
Right.
where you've also connected folks from the outside to come. You did an Easter egg hunt. You've done some kind of just different things, and I think
Yeah.
that's been great as well.
yeah, we'll have some things coming up, but you can call, just a simple phone call, 479-254-3650.
Excellent.
Talk to our front desk. They can set up a time for a tour.
Okay.
If you want to come out and tour, like I said, come out and let us know and come out and we'll feed you lunch one day.
Well, I'd like to see if I can twist your arm and Corey's arm to put me down for a standing lunch appointment every day. And, I know Corey does a great job with
Yeah.
that food back there. And, I love my wife's cooking, and she's not going to get mad at me about saying this, but I think his lunches and dinners are fantastic. So
You will gain weight.
Yeah, I
That's-
will gain weight, no doubt about it. So it's fantastic. Mike, thanks for being on the program with us this morning. We're excited to really feature Village on the Park this week and really all of the different things that are offered here.
Thank you very much for coming out and showing us.
Well, folks, up next is my good friend, Carrie Perrin-Smith, and she is just enjoying the opportunity to be back from Walmart shareholders and all the great stuff that's been going on with her and her travels. And this morning, she's going to be interviewing our new marketing director here at Village on the Park, Tania, and they're going to be talking about a lot of great things. So, in the meantime, folks, hang with us. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Gary Vernon. This is my daughter Abigail. We're with Friends at Slaughter Pen Trail, which is also called FAST, and it's a volunteer group, and we maintain the trails here in Bentonville and Bella Vista. This is the Slaughter Pen Trail system here, and there's about 30 miles of single track here within the city limits of Bentonville and Bella Vista. The trails are challenging, yet my daughter and I can ride together on them. There's different sections of trail you can ride if you want to jump, or if you just want to have a nice relaxing trail ride. There's all kinds of scenic views and caves and bluff trails, and there's waterfalls to see, and just a way to get out in the country yet not leave town. We really enjoy it here.
Another unique feature about the Bentonville trails is that we've got a concrete artery that's a very bike-friendly trail for families to take their kids out on or to ride on if you're just not sure about your biking abilities. And then on both sides of that concrete artery, you've got the slaughter pen trails, which are the single track trails that can be used not only by cyclists, but runners and walkers. So you've got an easily accessible track to dirt trails on either side of you for miles. And then those trails actually will lead you to the Crystal Bridges trails, which is one of the finest art museums in the country, I'm sure. And then you can take that right on into the little town of Bentonville, and you can go to the square there and you can see the restaurants, and it's very bike user friendly. You can sit, relax, talk, and you can come back down the trails on the concrete trail if you're tired, or if you want, you can get back on the dirt trails and ride some more. So very unique feature to have that concrete trail going down the center that's tied in with Crystal Bridges and the city itself.
And altogether, the Northwest Arkansas area has many miles of single track trail, and we're becoming a destination for riders all across the country. And you can come to Northwest Arkansas and spend a week and ride different trails every day.
This is a free ride park, and it's a specialty area where you can learn good skills and drills on bikes. Basically, the way the trails were designed here is the lower level trails are easier and more user friendly. And as you go higher up on the bluffs and the mountains, the trails become slightly more difficult. So as you go higher, the terrain is more difficult, and if you stay lower, it's more friendly. So the family can easily go ride on the lower terrain trails, and if you want to take the risk, you can go up on the higher trails, or you can ride on the trails like the ones behind us.
We have several trail sections in Arkansas, with the Womble Trail being our International Mountain Bike Association's epic rating trail, which basically states the level of length and difficulty of the trail is considered an epic, which is definitely well worth traveling long distance to come ride. We've got the Silamo Trail system on the eastern side of Arkansas, which is beautiful. And then we have the Eureka Springs. We have the Hobbs State Park area. We have Devil's Den. All those trail areas have challenging trails with beautiful scenery and definitely well worth making Arkansas a destination to come ride your mountain bike.
Hey, good morning, and we're back, and I'm Carrie Perrin-Smith. I'm your Justice of the Peace for District 5 that sits squarely in Rogers City limits, which is crazy having a county position right in the Rogers City limits, but there I am. This morning, I want to introduce you to Tania Burdine. She is, as Mike said, a little new. She's probably the newest person here at Village on the Park, but she's got some great stuff to tell you about today, some promotions that they're offering, because this facility is still fairly new, and so there's lots of space, lots of choice opportunity to become part of the community.
Yes, ma'am. We have availability in independent living, which is cottages, assisted living, one-bedroom apartments, and also in memory care. That is also a one-bedroom apartment.
Now you have something special coming up for Father's Day.
Yes, ma'am. We have what we are having is a fish fry. There will be gifts handed out. It's going to be a drawing for a fish and pole and tackle box. It's going to be from 11:30 to 2:30. Bring friends, family. We also have a pond that is stocked in the back where people can come and fish. So it's a great event for families and grandchildren, great-grandchildren, anyone like that in our area.
That's very cool. So people get a chance to come out and see the place and see how wonderful it is,
Yes.
and get a chance to walk through. So
Yes, ma'am.
now you have something special. We have a lot of Walmart associates moving in to take jobs and roles, and sometimes they have some parents they need to bring with them. Talk to us about that. How are you helping sweeten the pot for them?
Yes, ma'am. We have an associate. It's a special for the Walmart associates who are bringing family members into Village on the Park. We are offering a move-in expense, and our community fee is normally $1,500. So what we can do one of two things. We can give you up to $3,000 moving expense paid, or we can waive your community fee and give you $1,500 on your moving expense. So there's a lot of choices, a lot of help for people who are trying to get the move done at a reasonable cost.
Okay. So what is that process usually?
It's usually just coming in, touring, going over how much care plan that is needed, those kind of things, which our nurses take care of for me, and then sitting down and figuring out how I can best help that individual or that family. If it's better to give the moving, then that's what we'll do. If it's better to waive that community fee up front, so there's no immediate out-of-pocket, then that's what we'll do for them. So it's really individualized.
Right.
basically.
Every family is different in
Yes.
trying to make sure their parents are taken care of and really have a chance to live independently as much as possible. So tell me about the features here at Village on the Park. If you're just looking at an overview, how are you different from the other senior living facilities around the area?
We are different, even than our sister community. We're similar in some ways, we're much different in other ways. Personality of every community is different, of course. And we offer just a very compassionate, very caring environment. We have from a movie theater to a clubhouse for the cottages for our independent living. We have lots of activities, an amazing activity director that does all activities. So memory care has their activities, assisted living and independent, but sometimes we like to do activities together as a group as well. We're just different. It's just a lot of difference and personality.
Yeah. And it's nice to have that ability to flex.
Yes, ma'am.
So because some activities you can flex for the different needs between memory care and the folks who aren't dealing with memory issues.
And it's a great thing that we have memory care. That's one of the largest needs that I have noticed in our community. I came from Dallas 3-4 years ago, and even there it was growing so rapidly. So I feel very blessed to be in a community where we can take memory care and assist these families who don't know quite what to expect next. And we have a great staff that sits down and explains things and really helps an individual to kind of realize what their next steps are and what the process normally looks like.
Right, right. Wow, so what's been your biggest surprise about joining the team here?
My biggest surprise probably with this community would be the availability. I'm very surprised because it's so beautiful. I think it's the location. A lot of people tell me, I didn't know you were there. And it is a little hard to see. It does kind of blend with the neighborhood, but we are here and we're open, and we love people who drop by, come in, call us. We will definitely give you directions how to get here if you're interested. So
Right, right. And if you come to the airport on at any time, you drive right by here. It's just right at almost at the intersection of Greenhouse. Is it Greenhouse Road?
yes.
I drive through here every week, and I sometimes don't pay attention. I'm like, yes, I'm just heading to Village on the Park. So
Yes. Once you find us, it's like, wow, I've known this all along. But it's just the initial. I live in the neighborhood very close. I came by here every day and did not know it was here until I came for an interview. So it's very common, and unfortunately, it will be until we get a little bit more notoriety of where we're located at, and that's part of why I like doing these kind of activities so that we can express exactly what our location is. So it makes it easier. If you put it in Google, it does not show up. It tells you to park and you're going to walk.
This is correct.
So please don't put it in Google. Just give us a call. The number's 4792-543650, and you can call anybody. Front desk will be happy to give you directions.
All right, and Tania, you are in the office Monday through Friday?
Yes, ma'am. And Saturday, if needed, if some families work late, I stayed last night till 6. I can come in early. I can work on Saturday, whatever is convenient for that family member.
Nice. That's super helpful for those professionals who really need that help and need that flexibility. So, well, that's so exciting. Welcome to Village on the Park.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful facility and just so much opportunity to really get more neighbors. There's still so much availability here being so new.
We have availability in our cottages, which is becoming limited. Of course, they're beautiful, and we have a lot of independent people that are coming into the community. Assisted living, I have several different floor plans that are available for 1-bedroom and studios, and then I also have memory care availability. Memory care, we do have a limited amount of availability because there are so much need here in the area.
Isn't that something?
It really is sad. It really is. So, unfortunately, we see younger and younger and younger.
Right.
Coming in for memory issues. So I do have some availability, but not as much as my assisted living.
Isn't that something? So, well, very good. Well, Tania Burdine, thank you for being on the show today. So we'll have more information for you coming up next, or pretty quick, on the memory care unit and the activities that they have here.
Well, we're back, folks. Wow, what a great segment, Carrie, with Tania. I'll tell you, there's just so many things happening here at Village on the Park. I have with me this morning our good friend Aaron, who's the Director of Business Development for both properties here in Village on the Park in Northwest Arkansas. If you've not, in my opinion, also gotten out to the Rogers location, you have to get out there as well. Both of these properties are Cadillac properties. They are fantastic. And I'll tell you, Aaron, for you and Mike and the team here to really be handling kind of, really just lots of different areas, it's amazing. I'm just excited for everything that's going on for you all here. So talk to me a little bit about, I was looking here and we've got various community events. I was looking through the Village on the Park pamphlet that goes out monthly. Again, I go back to luau's and fish fries and just an abundance of things that you all have going on. Yesterday when I was here, happy hour.
I know.
I'm like in for happy hour.
I know, it was like a tiki bar set up in the back. It was great. Give me a Bahama Mama. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, we do have a lot going on, and sometimes it's quite overwhelming, but we really do it just so there's something for everyone, and so we're building those community connections. Tomorrow night, I'm doing a paint, pour, and sip for the Alzheimer's Association at our Rogers location. We have our Father's Day event here at Bentonville on Friday, which is 11:30. I think next Friday, they're doing a car show at our Rogers location on June 21st. A car show? Yes, June 21st. $5 cheeseburger basket.
Oh, I'm in.
I know, and car
shows. Is Mike doing the grilling or?
No, but we have a band.
A band?
A live band will be there. Actually, she's here with you today.
Oh, yes, Carrie is.
Carrie
is
and
here.
her band.
You're going to have, oh my goodness.
Well, Friday.
Then I've got to come out.
Well, I mean, have to.
Exactly, with Carrie performing, exactly, my goodness.
But I don't want to overwhelm with all of the things because, again, we just look at our Facebook, check out our event calendar, see what we got going on.
Well, talk to us a little bit. I mean, and then the other thing, I was like, Cake Wars?
Yes, Cake Wars.
Tell me about this.
So once the Hill of June events coming up, but what I am focusing on in the month of July is a benefit we're doing at both Rogers and Bentonville locations. And it's our cake auction. I have dubbed it Cake Wars. And it is benefiting the Alzheimer's Association, and the dates for that are July 16th and July 18th. So it's all within the same week. But basically, it's a community event. What we're doing is a live cake auction. We're hoping to have about 20 various cakes in each location. One to auction off and one to taste test.
Well, now here it was, Aaron, I'm thinking, my goodness, Cake Wars. So we're going to have these wonderful ladies come out, and they're going to, they're going to gear up and duke it out on the best recipes for cakes, and and really just kind of take some of these other folks out of the competition.
Well, if we can secure some famous local bakers in the area versus Granny Jean's.
Well, I was going to say because Granny makes a mean carrot cake, and
I know. Well, that's kind of the fun part of it. But hopefully, either we can serve back and give to nursing homes or firefighters, giving these cakes to various local organizations. But, we really just want to make it an entertaining cause for the Alzheimer's Association.
Well, and I don't want to take away, Aaron, from some of the guys that can make a mean cake as well, So there could be, I think maybe, this could branch out into kind of a male versus the female role and taking on the cakes,
Cake Wars?
Cake Wars?
Ages.
I'm in,
this.
But then I think it's going to turn into a throwing cake war at that point, it could.
We don't want to discourage that. No, I'm just kidding. But our housekeepers might.
Yes, they might.
Well, I will tell you that
hilarious.
bakers, there is a $25 registration fee.
Oh.
If you are a business, it's just $25, and then to auction, the minimum bid is $25.
Oh, okay.
And again, 100% of the proceeds are going to the Alzheimer's Association.
Oh, fantastic.
So we're really going to focus on that in July, and again, those dates are July 16th and 18th.
So you could get some businesses to sponsor as well.
Absolutely.
you know?
Like I said, businesses, family, friends. If you have, your neighbor that makes just the best cheesecake or whatever, we're
Jeremy, our producer, claims he makes a pretty mean cheesecake.
Jeremy?
And, I think sitting back there going, what?
It's on Jeremy.
It's on
Just
Jeremy.
kidding.
Jeremy's going to bring out and. He's going to sponsor a booth, and he's going to come up with some mean baking opportunities.
That'd be great. Well, but speaking of that, if we do have professionals that want to come and join us, it's an advertising opportunity for you as well.
Oh.
Bring your info, your pricing, and let people
Exactly.
know about what you do and showcase your business. So
Oh, well,
that's what I'm looking to do for July for both locations.
That is fantastic.
Yes.
I'll tell you, you always have it going on, girl. You always have it
it's
going on.
like herding cats some days, but we'll get better at it all the time, I guess.
Oh my
But
gosh.
that's Cake Wars. Thank you. Thanks for having that.
Yesterday you and I were having a conversation. You all are kind of gearing up for some more community business connections out there, and you've got a program now that you're going to be working with, I believe, Home Instead.
Home Instead, yes.
So,
Village on the Park and Home Instead, we've gotten together and we are talking about building what's called Northwest Arkansas Caring Connections.
Okay.
It's just a free service for families that are looking to transition their loved one into some sort of care.
Sure.
And just kind of knowing what's out there. This is more of an educational resource just for engaging senior adults and their families. So say if a family calls in here, looking for maybe a year to 2 years.
Yes.
And it's just kind of the whole process of what all that includes. But this is the pamphlet that we have.
Excellent.
And the first series of this, it goes over just having a conversation about the future.
Sure.
We are hosting our first dinner at Louise, which is Louise and Thadden here in Bentonville at the airport.
At the airport.
So,
My goodness.
Hence the theme is a launching pad for
Hey.
senior care in our area. So we're looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Dinner with dinner at Louise's. Wonderful. And once again, of course, Aaron, you're always leaving me out on all the good food, all the good programs that are going on. But I'm used to it.
Well, I've got a VIP ticket for you. I'm just saying. We are best friends.
I'll tell you. Well, my wife keeps thinking one of these days it's going to be a launching pad for me to get out the door.
Aww.
So, as far as senior care goes.
If you ever wants to join you to any of these things. But here is our cake auction event.
Yes,
And
I think we need
Thank you
to
for highlighting that today. We appreciate it.
get us that information. We want to get it out on our Facebook page, share it. Want Jeremy to type that up on our Facebook page as far as the cake auction goes, and make sure that July 16th we've got all sorts of folks coming out for those cake wars.
That'd be so great.
That's
We'd love that.
fantastic. Well, this is exciting. Once again, where can you go? This is kind of that one-stop shop for folks that are, saying, hey, I'm tired of the lawn, I'm tired of the house, I'm just tired of it.
Absolutely.
All I want to do is go and have fun and be able to, enjoy my life.
You're right. And build trusting, supportive
Oh,
relationships.
Exactly.
We're here for our families and our communities.
Well, I'll tell you, it's going to be fun here to talk with Emily about all the activities going on, because last night when I was coming through, I think it was Emily that was hosting this family feud thing that was going on.
Super fun.
It almost took me back to the days of when I remember Richard Dawson being on Family Feud, although she's not Richard Dawson, but at the same time, she's better looking than Richard Dawson. But at the same time, it just kind of took me back to that. And of course, now we get to watch Family Feud with Steve, that's on there as well, hosting the program. So anyway, I'll tell you, it's great. There's just all sorts of things to do here. And you guys really know how to engage the community. and that's what it's about.
That is what we are working on and our goals.
Well.
So thank you for supporting it, Michael.
Aaron, thank you so very much for being on the
My
program.
pleasure.
We appreciate it. And I'll tell you, once again, we're going to get the opportunity to be out at Rogers at some point to have the
we'd love
show
to
from
have
out
you.
there and really showcase what's going on in Rogers at your sister property.
We'd
as
love to
well.
have you anytime.
Well, there
Thank
you
so
go.
much.
Well, up next, folks, our good friend Carrie Perrin-Smith and myself with Emily, and we're going to be talking about activities, or actually, I think Carrie's going to do this segment, but I think we're going to be talking about activities in terms of boxing and kickboxing and MMA fights and all sorts of wonderful things that are going on. Emily's over there looking like, no, we don't have MMA here, or you know, it's kind of like the whole Tai Chi thing, yoga, that type. So anyway, but folks, we'll be right back in a few minutes. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, and we are back, and this time with Emily Haley. Tell me what your role here is at Village on the Park.
Okay, I'm the Director of Life Enrichment here, and I cover 3 different categories here: the independent living, assisted living, and memory care neighborhood.
Excellent, excellent. Now talk to us about the activities that you have each week.
We have a lot of different activities that we do each week. I call our weekly activities our daily activities. Those are activities we have scheduled every week, so they're pretty routine. But in those, we do gym guys, yoga. Those are both taught by professionals, so they do come in. Gym guys, I know that he was talking earlier about boxing, and we have incorporated that into some of our routines. And the reason being,
Really?
yes, I know it's interesting, but the reason being, some of our residents have Parkinson's disease, and it really helps. Research shows that it really helps with balancing and maintaining muscle movement. So that's why we do that. We also do a lot of movie shows. We do arts and crafts, bingo. We even have Bible study, devotionals, things like that. We go on a lot of outings. Last week we just went to a horse farm where we had a lot of interaction with animals.
Oh my goodness.
So it was a really good therapy moment for our residents.
Excellent. Yeah, and sometimes you just have to go for a Butterfinger Blizzard or something.
Right. Sometimes you just have to get out and go do something. Yes,
That's
ma'am.
right,
Yeah.
that's
and
right.
Then next week on Friday we are having our luau. That is for our residents, and it is going to be pretty well just like you would have a regular luau. The only thing we're not going to have is the full pig that's going to be roasted.
No place to roast a pig here?
No place. But we will have other things for them to do. It's really good time, really
How
fun.
fun.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
with the leis and the flowers.
Yes.
This place is gonna dress out so pretty.
It is. Yes, ma'am.
So, and there's more people moving in all the time.
All the time. And then really they come in and when they do their tours, it really helps because we're doing activities and things. So they come in and they see, oh, it is an engaged community. We can come here and have fun and still live our life. And they realize that they can still be social. And that's a really big factor that a lot of people don't realize. When you come here, you're not going to be shut in. You're not going to be in your own room doing nothing. You're going to come here and still live your life the way you normally do, with a little bit more entertainment, a little bit more activity going on.
That's right. You know, I mean, if you're an introvert, live alone. But
Yes.
if you are everybody else,
Yes.
you know, you want a facility like this where you can engage with other people who are in the same stage of life that you're in.
Correct. Yes, ma'am. And a good way to do that too is we do have happy hour, and we have those every Tuesdays and Friday in the night. And it's a great time. Yesterday we actually played Family Feud while doing our happy hour.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
They get a lot of different games that they can play. We can sit around and just talk. During Christmas we have happy hour and decorate trees. So we have a lot of social interaction for them
Oh my
to do.
goodness, yeah. So it's not just happy hour and here's a glass of wine.
No,
it's happy
no.
hour and let's do something
Right.
fun, a
Let's-
planned activity.
Exactly. Let's do something engaging.
Yeah, definitely fun. So the family members of the people who live here, how do they get involved?
They can come to any of our activities, and I let that be known when they first move in. You are more than welcome to come in anytime. Drop by. You don't have to tell me you're coming. And they can come in and they can bring supplies if they wanted to volunteer for a class, to teach a class. More than welcome to. They can always come in and visit their parents.
Excellent. Now tell us about IN2O.
Okay, it's IN2L, and it stands for It's Never Too Late.
Oh, IN2L.
Yes, and it's an interactive program, and it's a cutting-edge technology. It really is. But what it is it's a mobile computer program that you can wheel around to different residents' rooms and things like that. But it has over 4,000 applications, very user-friendly. But it gives you the social interaction that you need, the physical interaction, games. It brings back memories. These 4,000 applications, when we think applications, we think just games on our phones, but that's not what it is. It actually has Skype that their families can come in. They can call me and say, hey, I want to talk to my mom tonight. Is that okay? Because we live states away. That's you're more than welcome to do that. We wheel it into the rooms. It's a one-on-one conversation. It's on a table, so you can lower it or raise it. So if someone's in a wheelchair, it's very accessible to them. We can lower it to them. They're one-on-one,
Interesting.
talking with their family, keeping up to date on each other, so you don't ever lose that connection with your loved one. There's also a thing that what we would consider Facebook, but it's called My Page, and it's a secure network on IN2L. And it allows caregivers and family members access to upload any program that they may be using during the day. Let's say that resident A likes to play trivia. That application can actually be uploaded to their My Page.
Yeah.
And then their family can log in using their username and password and find out what their mother or loved one has been doing that day, and just kind of keep in contact. It also helps too when other CNAs come on board, come into another shift. If that resident's not having a good night, she wants to be up during the night, which is out of her routine,
Yeah.
they can look on her My Page and say, I know she likes to do this, let's pull this up and give her something else she can do. So she's not just sitting around.
Ah, nice.
It's a lovely, lovely program.
Nice. So I mean, it really does, give them. How many of these units do you have? Is there one per room?
There's only one.
Okay.
There's only one, but that's the benefit to it, that it is on that table, so you can wheel it around anywhere you want. It's
Okay.
completely mobile. We actually bring it out to assisted living too. We don't just seclude it in memory care. It can come out.
Excellent. So tell us about what you did before you came here. How long have you been here?
I've been here now for about 2.5 years. I worked at the sister community over in Rogers for a little while, helping out with activities of the director there, and also doing a little bit of CNA work. Before that, for about almost 3 years, I worked for UAMS, working with children with disabilities and who were also very ill.
Oh my goodness. So very much your career is built around care.
It is. It's always been in my nature to have that caring soul and care with other, care about people.
That's good. It's good to know that we have these kind of people on staff here. So that's a great place for your loved one for sure. So, well, anything else you want to tell us about the fun and the activities?
Well, we also have a gardening club. We do a lot of gardening
my
here.
goodness.
We do, and it's a big hit. It's a big hit. We do a watering schedule and other things. Today we actually are going to do that. We're going to pick some of our vegetables that have grown, and we're going to split them up and we'll all eat them. But
so you have a community garden.
We have a community garden.
Oh my goodness.
And we also use the herbs. Our kitchen will use them. It's a completely organic garden. So there are no chemicals that are put on it.
Nice.
So we can actually use that in our kitchen. It's really nice. The residents can say, I grew that and now it's on my plate. And they can tell other residents, guess what, I did that and there you are eating it. Isn't it wonderful?
Isn't that neat? That's meaningful, isn't it?
It is. It's very meaningful, and that's what activities are supposed to be. Meaningful and help you engage in life and continue to live.
Yeah. So, well, Emily, Haley, thank you for
You're
being
very
on the
welcome.
show today.
Thank you.
And we're live. We're back. So, Carrie, I'll tell you, you're taking the lead on this segment with our
Deborah
wonderful
Henson.
Deborah. Yes.
Yes, so Deborah is the Assistant Director of Resident Care here at Village on the Park.
Yeah.
So, well, tell us about what your primary responsibility is here.
Well, what I mostly do is I make sure that we are fully staffed with our nurses and our CNAs. We have nurses and CNAs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, always on staff. So keeping that staffing on is a big job at times. You know, people get sick. And I make sure that we have all of the supplies that we need, make sure that I follow up on what needs that our residents have, and connecting with the families and the doctors, and pretty much everything our nurses do on the hall, and then on top of that, get to hire and fire people, which is not my favorite part.
No, not the fun part.
No.
Sometimes you have to do that
It's
human
not.
resources role.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, and it's my first management position, so it's new and I'm learning. So every day I learn something new.
Yeah, now there's certain idiosyncrasies with human beings.
Yes.
Different parts of I know my daughter's a CNA, and she says, when it's a full moon, things are
Yes.
just different.
Yes.
And we're all more connected to the earth than we ever
That's a good way of putting it. Connected to the earth.
Yeah, and so when just like the phases of the moon affect the animals and the plants and different seasons change,
everybody.
you have to be flexible.
You do. You have to be very flexible in nursing. Sometimes I get called in to come and work and then evening shift, even though I've worked during the day, and that's just part of nursing,
And part of management.
Part of
So
management.
You definitely want to
so
make sure you always have somebody
what we have
great
to do.
on staff that leads that team.
Well,
so tell us
enjoy it.
about the group of professionals that support the residents here.
Well, we have the nursing department, of course, is what I'm a part of. We have our marketing department, which is very important to get people in here to see our facility. We have our activities. Emily, she's very highly educated and does a wonderful job. We have our dietary, which Corey, he is the head of dietary, and our food here is amazing, which he'll talk about that in just a minute.
The
it's
food
very
is fantastic.
good. And I just can't really say enough about, and of course Erin doing our exterior marketing, and she's awesome at it. She's just a
and fun
she's a ball of fun.
Yeah.
I call her a little butterfly. Anyway, and of course our human resources business department. Melinda is amazing. She is just the best. She takes care of everybody, and she always goes above and beyond what needs to be done. I mean, she'll be in there working with Emily doing the activities, hanging things up and decorative.
Oh,
yeah,
nice,
it's like,
nice.
So it's kind of neat.
How did we miss Melinda?
I don't know. We may
I'm
have to
gonna
have
talk-
another segment about Melinda.
Exactly. I'm going to talk to Mike about that, Carrie. I'll tell
Yeah,
you.
she's amazing.
He was bringing me all the staff, and,
Yeah.
and he left one out.
The HR person.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Well, and I tell you,
Melinda's up next.
you really have to have the right people in human resources, because it's not all about, I mean, people get into human resources because they like people, but it's nothing about people. It's
No.
about government regulation and
Yes.
making sure people follow the rules and
Right.
you're legal
Right.
and all of those things. And it's a very technical job.
Very much so. Very much so.
And there are some ugly parts of it, sometimes you have to fire people and you have to document things.
Yeah, and so she and I do work closely together
because
in
you
the
want
hiring
the right
department.
people
Yes,
here,
yes.
taking care of the most precious thing on campus. And,
Right.
And
Absolutely.
that's the people who
Our
live here, the
residents.
residents.
Pretty amazing.
So.
Deborah, life's changes a little bit. Folks trying to figure out kind of that next step of going through change, and that dynamic of change is their loved one that's maybe taken a health change, and all of a sudden then we're talking about, areas of memory care
Right.
and things like that. Walk us through a little bit about how you kind of, help them transition through that phase of it.
I think a lot of people, it depends on how much, like a family member, if they're taking care of their mom, for instance, and they've been taking care of their mom for quite a while.
Sure.
It's hard for them to see the decline until they maybe bring them into our neighborhood memory care. They see them, or maybe we try to explain to them the changes that we see, and they kind of have a hard time with it, trying to accept that. When I go in and do an assessment in a home, most of the time I can tell what stage they are right
Yes.
away. And the family members are like, oh yeah, they answer their questions for them. They act like that they just, got this diagnosis, and the person is probably in the mid stages of either dementia or Alzheimer's. And so what we try to do is gently explain to them, what parents' needs are. And once they hear that, it's almost like you're validating what they've already been feeling, and it's okay. It's okay
Yes.
to take that next step to memory care. It's a difficult, very difficult decision to make for some people. And some people, even when they're in with us, the family members still have a very difficult time accepting it. Most of them don't, but some do. And so that's where we have to just come in there and just support them and help them in every way that we can.
Well, and it doesn't help us to have commercials on TV, that say, oh, we wanted to let mom always live at home. Well, living at home isn't always safe.
Exactly.
They can wander
Absolutely.
off, they can be injured.
Right.
And so it's really important that they have the right supervision. And caregiving is an all-in,
It
24/7
is.
kind of role. And at some point, it is hard. And you don't realize how deep you're into it at the time, you know, until you finally get a chance to step away and go,
Yes.
wow, look at all the new
Yes.
habits I've developed because I've been a 24/7 caregiver.
Exactly. And then they can't be the loving daughter or son or spouse.
Right.
They're the caregiver. Once they come and stay with us, the family can come and visit them and do all those fun things that we offer to them.
Right.
And then they can take a deep breath and just enjoy as much as they can those moments that they have with their loved ones.
That's
So
right. They don't
that's-
have the list of things they have to do
Right.
and the medicines to
Right.
make sure they get
Like-
organized and
Exactly.
the little pill
So-
keepers. And
Oh, yeah.
There's so much that goes into the logistics
Yes.
of all of that. And then all of a sudden, I think they're glad when that piece of it comes off of them. I
Yeah.
think it's like it's a huge weight that's
It
been
is.
lifted off their shoulders.
It is. And I'm grateful that I'm in a position that I can help them.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
so I love
Most
it.
definitely. I think, Deborah, when it gets down to, you were talking earlier about kind of some of those assessment pieces. I think when it gets down to it, those are kind of those great tools that you can educate people with. It's not that you're trying to come in and find necessarily
Exactly.
something. What you're trying to do is educate them
Yes.
on the stage of where that individual may be.
Right.
And obviously they have some concern,
Right.
which then prompts that
Right.
thought process of, hey, perhaps when our doctor has ordered this, it's a good thing,
Right. Right.
And
It's not something that you can shy away from. You have to deal with it.
Sure.
You have to deal with it.
Sure.
And like Carrie was saying, the safety is the most important thing.
Oh.
The most important thing, because your residents, you fall one time at home, you're probably going to fall numerous times.
Exactly, and then I think it goes to that whole part of wandering off.
Yeah.
Carrie and I have often talked about kind of, folks that reach those stages in life, and we all will get there at some point, and it's that, it's all of a sudden it's, you've dozed off and taken a nap, and your loved one has, again, left, and all of a sudden you're like, wow.
Like a role reversal.
Exactly. And then you're in that parent mode of,
Yeah.
finding my parent.
Right. You
know,
can't
type
take a
thing.
nap.
Or I'm finding my spouse who,
Right.
and I didn't see this
And
coming.
that's a horrible feeling.
It is.
It's a horrible
It's
feeling.
like losing a child at that point,
Yeah.
in one sense.
Well, and I think we're still continuing to learn every day about the causes of dementia and
Yes.
the causes
Yes.
of Alzheimer's. And I know they're starting to talk about type 3 diabetes, which is insulin-resistant diabetes, and how that connects to the possibility of leading into dementia and Alzheimer's.
Right. So yeah, you're right. And we try to stay up on all of the new studies that they've had, and that sort of thing too. So
Exactly.
It's important.
Jeremy, I think real quick, we've got a picture of kind of the memory care unit. I want to show that because it's a beautiful area. It really is. And I think people should get this opportunity to really look at, kind of this inviting area of what is here and, what that's about. And so
Right.
this area particularly is kind of just the general sitting area or?
Like their day area, their
Okay.
activities area. There's the TV, and there's magazines, and there's a record player. They
Record
can have
player?
a record player there, and a tape
Okay.
player, CD player.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So I don't know if that's the only picture we have. and I believe that may be the only picture we have, but Jeremy is looking for one other here. There we go. We are back, and that looks like my desk covered with papers, but that looks great. No, I'm sure that's...
That's one of the tables that, well, our CNAs sit there and they do their documentation as well. There's a drink machine and there's an activities board, arts and crafts.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep.
Fantastic.
And, and that's our outer courtyard.
I'll tell you, the courtyard looks beautiful. The flowers, this is what I'm talking about when you look at this facility. Carrie and I often talk about how beautiful the landscaping is here in this community, and it is wonderful. Very nice. And it gets folks to get out and sit out and enjoy the sun, get that vitamin D in as well.
They love it.
That's fantastic. Well, Deborah, I'll tell you, at the end of the day, your job is challenging. And it is rewarding, and hats off to you for serving in an area that really, at the end of the day, is really challenging for those on the outside trying to help their loved ones.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
And you are to be commended for that, because that takes a lot of patience.
Thanks.
And my wife Arlene often laments that in later stages of life, oh my goodness, if I do get Alzheimer's or dementia, I'll be a handle to take care of.
And I'm sure I will be too, because I'm a nurse, and nurses are really bad patients.
There you go. There you go. Well, fantastic. Well, Deborah, thank you for being on the show and taking time with us this morning. We really enjoyed having you. And this, again, is really all about what it is here at Village on the Park. And we're excited to have you, and we will have you back.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, folks. Well, next up is our great friend that Carrie and I talk so much about, Corey, from the Director of Dining Services here. And I will tell you, I continue to twist Corey's arm about getting some great meals out to me while I'm here on the show, but he continues to push back and tell me that I need to lose a few more pounds. Anyway, folks, here just shortly, we'll be right back. We're back, folks. Hey, there we are. And yes, we've got our good friend Corey. And Corey, welcome back to the program. Glad to have you, my friend. And I believe, I could be messing up the title, Director of Dining Services? Is that it or no?
I believe that's what it's been changed to. I'm formerly Director of Dietary Services.
Dietary.
They moved me to Dining Services.
Dining Services.
We'll change the title for some reason.
Well, there you go. Hey, nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong. So, Carrie, I'll tell you, if you've not been out here on a first Saturday of the month for brunch, you and Tom need to come because the brunch is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. He's got everything from fruit right on down to the biscuits and gravy. So you can dine lightly,
full buffet,
or you can.
Wow.
Well, Corey talked to us a little bit this morning about kind of, really the dining experience, if you will, here when folks are coming into the community.
Well, we really try to provide a great dining experience for residents and for residents' family when they come to visit. I think what sets us aside from a lot of other communities in the area is that we do offer a full-size, always available menu, and I have that actually here. I don't know if you've got
Yes.
I should have brought it on the show sooner last time I was on.
Well,
but,
I was going to say.
I remember today, so that's what counts, right?
Read some of the wonderful things. I was perusing this menu. Listen to some of this. I mean.
Right, and so what I've done is I've added a lot of options, and this is available in the dining room when they sit for their meals, lunch, dinner, and that way they very much have the option to choose from the menu, just as if they were at a restaurant or a cafe. And so we have specials every day, and that changes every week for lunch and dinner. But if for some reason the resident didn't like what we were going to have for special that day, they're absolutely able to order from our always available menu. So we've got a huge amount of different types of salads. We've got a steak burger. We've got a classic meatloaf. I put my recipe on here on the menu. Not the actual full recipe, but it's my recipe.
It's fantastic. I can
Top secret.
Top secret.
Top,
folks. Country fried steak. We've got grilled cheese, grilled ham and cheese, turkey club, chicken or tuna salad, BLT. Really a lot of options on here, and plenty of side items as well. And so really wanted to put as many things as I could on here. And I think that really we've got a lot of positive feedback about the menu itself. And so I feel like we've taken it in the right direction, and residents are happy with it. And so I think that we're going to kind of just keep pushing along.
Well, I was going to say, you really meet all ends of the spectrum. Carrie and I were just talking earlier about the type 3 diabetes, and you really, from even your previous title as dietitian, if you will, have to understand all the mix.
Right. Not quite at dietitian level, but as a dietary manager, you really have to do be very understanding and have the knowledge of what residents can and can't have, and of course try to encourage them to eat, to kind of stick to their diets. And sometimes they want to make choices and have the things that they probably shouldn't have, and we try to encourage them to stick to that. But they never fight us on it. They're very understanding of what they
I really don't mind if someone offers me a Krispy Kreme donut at the end of the day, or pancakes and sausage.
Or a Butterfinger Blizzard. More of those, yes. I learned how to make those at home.
Maybe you can walk me through.
Actually, have a Vitamix and some ice cream and it's super easy.
There you go.
Walk us through it someday. We can bring the camera back there, and you can give us a little.
There you go.
See, healthy style.
Yeah, sure. We'll make it the healthy version.
Exactly.
All the fat, all the calories. It'll be a completely healthy version.
And I learned to make it at home because my husband loved to go to Dairy Queen, and so I'm allergic to corn, and so their usual mix at Dairy Queen has got a lot of high fructose corn syrup in it, and so I was trying to go to some more pure organic ice cream, and so I figured out how to do it, but it took a Vitamix. It's not.
Those are a little more serious.
Yeah.
Really kind of a real deal kind of equipment for that.
Yeah. It's a make at home treat.
Nice.
Or making your kitchen treat.
Sure. Well, we do a lot of desserts as well. We actually just our desserts are kind of ever changing, and we have our cooks come in every day, make a fresh new dessert. That's one thing we don't keep on a rotation. We just come up and we just kind of brainstorm together and come up with different ideas and do a little bit of experimenting with baking. I'm not as strong on the baking side as some of the cooks we have that I brought along with us. I'm a little more. I mean, you wouldn't think that from looking at me.
Well, far be it from me to say anything.
But we do. We try to come up with new ideas, and we kind of, we see what works and what doesn't work. And I think that overall, when I'm walking in the hallway and a resident might pass me and just a quick chat, and I'd say 9 times out of 10, it's always a very positive conversation in regards to food and how they're enjoying the meals here. And so that makes me feel like I'm doing my job, and really something I'm proud about. I'm proud of the fact that I can be involved in this community.
Well,
and any chance I have to make it better, I certainly try to. So,
Corey, I'll tell you, Corey, you've done a fantastic job with the dining services piece. I think you really have a dual run out in the clubhouse as well, because that's got a full kitchen or a fair-sized kitchen out there as well. So you're serving those folks in the cottages out there as well.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of nice. But then it's kind of nice to breathe a little bit when you can kind of bring them all together. The first of the month and the brunch and prepare collectively there.
Oh, definitely.
And make it more of a community atmosphere.
And that was really my hopes in organizing the first Saturday of the month brunch, is that not only just to have cottage residents come in and join our residents in our main building here in assisted living, but also to encourage them to invite family and friends and kind of give them a chance to kind of show off where they live and just to kind of get together and talk and just really enjoy themselves. And so that's really my opportunity to try to make that happen.
Well, once again, like I said, you've done a fantastic job, and we've certainly enjoyed the opportunity to not only be here, but experience some of those great savory smells that come out of the kitchen.
I've told all the staff back there, I've told all my staff, only good smells.
Only good smells.
There's no bad smells at all. So,
that must mean there's no broccoli or cauliflower.
Or turnip greens,
we actually filter all the smells before they come out. And so that's something that we work really hard on, making sure.
Well, that's
having you here.
I'll tell you. And they're true things in terms of it exactly. And what I like is just the experience that you bring. This is really that, what I call that different experience from what folks term as, kind of, oh my goodness, here's what we call residential care living, and it's certainly not that, like Mike talked about in the beginning of the program. It's not. Yeah. This is lifestyle living. This is that changeover from, okay, I'm done with 3,000 square feet. I'm done with the lawn. I'm done with repairs. I'm finished. I'm done.
Exactly, and we want to take the stress and take all the worry off residents' shoulders, and let them know that when they come here, they're everything from day to day will be taken care of, the food and the cleaning and everything. And it's nice to be able to give them options, and I think that's the biggest. And the most important part of what we do in the kitchen is just putting out as many options as possible, and so they're not so limited.
Exactly.
I never wanted this to be a cafeteria style where you've got 1 or 2 options each day, and take it or leave it. And that's something I would never want us to have. And so I'm very, very happy we're able to offer options.
Well, hats off to you, Corey. Thank you for being on the program with us and being in the hot seat at the end of the show here. And we really appreciate you. And no worries. And we will have you back. And we're going to still get back there in that kitchen again and have some video time.
Always welcome.
I'll tell you, that salmon the last time was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Well, folks, we'll be right back in a minute with a wrap up and look forward to closing out the show. See you shortly.
Are you ready for a change? To start something new? To be a healthier you? Then it's time to discover Profile by Sanford. So what is Profile? Profile is a personalized weight management plan created by physicians and researchers at Sanford Health, one of the leading healthcare systems in the nation. This plan will change your life by helping you change your nutrition, activity, and lifestyle, all to develop healthy living habits for life. How does it work? Once you become a Profile member, a plan will be developed specifically for you. Working with a certified profile coach, you'll create an easy-to-follow meal plan combining healthy grocery foods and nutrient-rich profile meal replacements. Each plan consists of 3 stages. 1. Reduce, accelerating weight loss with a low-carb, high-protein meal plan. 2. Adapt, incorporating more healthy foods to continue weight loss. 3. Sustain, maintain weight loss with your new set of healthy habits. Throughout the entire process, you'll receive support and encouragement from your coach and be able to track your progress with our state-of-the-art technology. Does this really work? Thousands of members have lost weight on the Profile plan, ranging from 30 pounds to more than 220 pounds. And they've kept it off because Profile is simple, effective, and sustainable. Okay, how do I start? Visit profileplan.net for a free consultation with a certified coach. Then find the Profile store nearest you or enroll in our virtual coaching plan from anywhere in the country. Congratulations! You're on your way to discovering a healthier you with Profile.
And we're back. Wow. I'll tell you, what a great segment with Corey. You know, I was going to say Corey Carey, but then that kind of just...
I
Those
tell you
2
what,
C's in
I
there.
just love talking about food. I was looking at that menu going, that is so Southern cooking right
Oh,
there.
it is.
Meatloaf and
Chicken,
BLTs
fried steak.
and biscuits and gravy.
Oh, it's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
I tell you,
there was nothing low-cal on there. Well, the salads on the back page were
But
low-cal.
you know, if you can enjoy, if you can eat good food, and you don't need as much of it. And
No.
so when you've
No.
got somebody who really curates the dining experience, it makes a huge difference.
Well, it does, and you know, one of the things that I really think of is it's not meals on wheels. Nothing wrong with those folks, great folks. At the end of the day, they serve a need, but it's not something that's frozen and kind of thrown at you.
Well, I mean,
So.
you know, God bless meals on
Exactly.
wheels. I mean,
God bless them because they serve a purpose.
Because there is
They
a need,
do.
but yeah, for those people who are looking at options and they're like, well, I mean, because you've got here, this is what you're having today,
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
whether you like it or not.
Yeah, and that's it. You don't get an option, and you don't get an issue on the portion size either. It's
No.
one portion size fits all, and that's it.
It is. I mean, it's ample, but yeah, it tends to be, you know, high carb, and so that's
Exactly.
not right for every
No.
person. So I mean, what you eat matters. It matters now, and it matters when you get older.
It does, because you can tell everything in your joints and your body, everything slows down
You
at that
betcha.
point. You know,
You betcha.
hurts you one way or the other. Well, you know, Carrie, we had a great show here, really focusing on Village on the Park, the different aspects of things. I don't know if Jeremy can kind of quickly roll back through some of those pictures real quick, but I really think, you know, just highlighting kind of the different areas from fantastic apartment living right on through to cottages, the entertainment, there's the theater room. I mean, you know, where else can you go and have a movie theater in-house? You don't even have to leave, and you get popcorn to boot.
And if you get tired, you can go take a nap.
Exactly. You don't,
You don't have to wait till the bus comes back to pick you up.
Exactly. But these beautiful cottages, the landscaping, the whole brick facade of the cottages, 1,400 square feet on those cottages, absolutely phenomenal. Look inside. I mean, just, you know,
You
really
bet.
lifestyle living at its finest. And folks can come and go and still enjoy going on cruises and exercising and all the different things that they have here. And they don't even have to prepare a meal at home. They've got Corey in the, you know, in the clubhouse there in the kitchen preparing for
you
them.
bet.
Look at the beautiful grounds here, walking around. It's.
I didn't know they had a pond you could fish in.
Oh yes. Yes, and occasionally see folks out there. There's a look inside their clubhouse. They've got a great meeting room right back there at the back through the double doors there, through those French doors. I think they call those French doors. I don't remember now. They're a sliding door of some sort. And here in the memory care unit, again, just all of the different things that folks have the ability to do, and at different stages of their lives have the ability still to connect in and be active.
Yeah, and then when you walk through here, it's so fresh and new. You know, you've got the neutral color scheme and hardwood and granite, and just a really upscale feeling. So for so many people, it's the comforts of home. And for some people who've lived in their house 40 years, that's a very different, that feels, I mean, nobody put granite in their house 40 years ago.
Nope, they didn't. They absolutely didn't. And the other thing is, you know, you can sit out on the patio at happy hour and enjoy a view of the pond. Well, the lake, as Jared called it.
That's right. Grab some sunshine, get your vitamin D.
Exactly, and enjoy a little bit of relaxing time.
Really, retire well.
Exactly. You know, I think Tom and you are going to be doing that someday as well. And anyway. You know, it's fantastic.
That's what my husband says, because you know we've got a couple of bands that we're in, and he goes, "We're going to be someday the house band for Village on the Park." He just retired just last week.
I know.
Like officially retired.
Finally.
Yeah.
Not the retirement of the retirement before the real retirement.
Right, or practice retirement, which is what he's been calling vacation for the last 2 years. I'm going to do practice retirement.
Practice retirement.
He's actually really retired now.
He's not going to know what to do. I know you've had some just fun times with him being home and the TV going and just all the different shows that are going on. And you're like, wow, what happened to my, you know, quiet solitude?
My house was a tomb. A tomb during the day. It was solitude until he came home from work every day and turned on the TV.
Yeah, and Law and Order now.
Right, yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. He watches, you know, it's either war movies, zombie movies, or cable news. And so it's all about screaming on all of these networks, and some of it's science fiction.
And they're still
cable
screaming.
News.
Yes, exactly. Fake news, we call it.
Fake news,
exactly.
Yeah,
and they're screaming during
the and I was just, so that's the hard thing. I knew it was coming. I was like, could you, like, and I keep telling him, the dogs really don't like to listen to all that screaming. And he doesn't like to watch Animal Planet because he's afraid there's going to be animal cruelty and somebody's going to die.
Oh, well, you know, that is the war of the jungle.
It's like watching the Disney Channel.
Exactly.
Somebody's always dying.
Survival of the fittest, you know.
And it's usually the mom.
It's usually
what is it about Disney? They kill the mom off.
They kill the mom off all the time.
Actually,
you know?
the mom's already dead.
So. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we catch it after the fact, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Why isn't there any moms in Disney movies?
Oh, well, I'll tell you, we've had another great show. Hats off to Mike Gross and the group, and just the opportunity, again, to get further insight into what's going on here. And, you know, I think it's time to thank our sponsors and also thank our audience for staying with us throughout the ups and downs of technical processes. So
Facebook Live is a wonky medium.
It
is. Say what you want about it, but wow. For those people that
yes.
use it and those people who navigate the wonkiness of the medium,
exactly,
it's an adventure.
It is. It is. Well, we want to thank Village on the Park, of course, Jeremy for staying with us. I think he was about ready to just throw everything out the door today at Web Untied. I think it was just going to be throw it all over the cliff and start over again.
That's why you need a professional to navigate
exactly
technology.
Exactly. I didn't see too much sweat rolling off the forehead at any one point anyway.
Yeah, he always like takes it in and he's back there smiling as he's shaking his head.
And then now he's got to deal with his associate, his worker bee back there with him, just egging him on some. So I saw a little bit of frustration.
It is a team back there. So.
I almost saw Jeremy get out his lighting torch that he uses on hard wiring projects and start to do a little flame throwing going on there.
Technology, y'all.
Yes,
Technology.
I'll tell you. I thought I was going to have to call the fire department there for a minute, but our good friends at Music Works, can't forget them. KR Promotions, Amp Electric, profile by Sanford Barton Consulting. In fact, here in just a little while, I'll get to see Dr. Charlie Barton, so that'll be great.
Aw.
And she is a fantastic lady on all the processes to help you out in business. And
Help you be more productive and put more money on your bottom line.
Exactly.
Through efficiency.
Exactly, and I know at some point today, Jeremy's going to go see our good friends at Ignite Chiropractic because he's stressed out and finally he's going to need a little adjustment after today. So he needs to see the Horines, Dr. Lee and Natalie Horine at Ignite Chiropractic, great folks. And can't thank you enough, especially for time away from Tom, to come out here, Carrie, at Soar with Eagles and participate in the show. But of course, also our good friend Simply Cool, Dr. Steve Place, and Johnny Brusco's, great salads, great pizza.
Yum.
Oh, I'll tell you, Meteor Guitar Gallery, Kumon Learning, can't forget Shrividya and her group at Kumon Learning, Nuclear Health and Fitness, Ian Rude, and of course, once again today, highlighting the show, as always, right here front and center is our wonderful group at Enchanted Designs. Look at those flowers. Hold those things
I'm
up.
going to hold these up because they're kind of out of the camera shot.
Exactly.
Look how beautiful
Look
these
at
are.
those. Fantastic flowers. And, we always appreciate the group at Enchanted Designs for that. And if you get an opportunity, please go out to their Facebook page at Enchanted Designs. Call them up. They're here in Bentonville. A great group of folks, and they will assist you every which way but possible to come out with a fantastic arrangement like
Well,
this.
and I love the way that everything that they bring is always like what's seasonally in bloom.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Hydrangeas around the outside here. We've got lilies. I've got lilies blooming at my house, and the hydrangeas are popping out now.
Yes.
And I don't know what to call these. They're lovely though.
Well, we'll have to ask them what they call those. Maybe we can get them to leave a little identifier behind on these each time. But I tell you, they do a great job. They do a fantastic job.
And that's probably what I think is most special about them.
Yes.
Is that they're so good at creating, not what the canned Teleflora, bouquet
Design.
feature
Yes.
on the internet was, but something that's blooming locally, something that you would create out of your own garden if you had the time to do something like that.
Exactly.
Or maybe you want to share what's so beautiful here in the Mid-South, with your, with someone else.
It is phenomenal.
So, it is lovely.
Well, we're bringing the show to a close, and we're excited once again as we will be back here next week at Village on the Park, and hopefully with the wonky rain and also just the things that are going on with the weather, of course, and Facebook, that we will be more in tune, if you will, hopefully waking up the internet and all the different electronic pieces we've got. So, well, until next time, folks, we wish you a good day and good morning, neighbor. We'll see you next week.